Hey guys, in this video I wanna share a kind of simple lance progressions, mainly focused for those who want to start once again or newer players whose objective is to fight the future Alatrion, Fatalis or whatever the heck Capcom decides to throw. Around 40-50 hours into the base game and up to 100 plus hours in Sunbreak. The idea of course is not to sink so much time into the things that can be worked later, but also not falling into the classic mistakes where people rush through the content and end up losing a lot of time later on. And this is especially true for the lance, as it can feel as an underwhelming weapon. And also, while it is true that right now is better focusing in elemental damage, it takes quite the time to get something decent. Plus several weapons, so I'll be focusing these ideas in functional raw weapons, which is going to be easy and faster to acquire, and later on you can work towards elemental builds. Here I'll just focus in 3-4 raw weapons. Our first stop is going to be the Guardian Lance. This one is going to be pretty much our main weapon up to master rank, unless you want to do some side farm to get something a bit more efficient. But our main goals are Nargacuga Lance, Fine Kamura Lance, Lost Pavel and Royal Order Guard. In general, once you reach high rank, you can farm several Nargacugas to get at least 4 medullas. That way we are able to craft 3 weakness exploit, plus our 35% affinity, or at least have a 50% affinity with weakness exploit. In Village Quest, our first build is going to be the Black Belt, that way we can focus in farming the monsters we need like Narga to start progressing this particular tree. Also, do not forget to farm some ores in each region, as they are going to be needed for some other weapons. Once high rank is reached, we can start creating some basic decorations. This is the general list of decorations I do recommend you to get, for some comfort builds and also to patch things up later as we progress. For the time being, we are going to focus just in these ones, up until we get a higher rank. As for our next step regarding armor sets, we are going to start mixing some things. We are going to change our Black Belt Mail, Embraces, Horisochi Mail and Alloy Braces. If you wonder why, it is because we get a better damage output by focusing in critical hits, instead of just going for pure raw damage. After those parts, we are going to change the Black Belt Grips for Ingot Grips. This can be forged or directly buy if you have the Zeni. As this first part in base rise isn't that complicated, we can wait up until we meet Barroth to change the coil and helmet. In this point we are going to start using guard skills. Regarding charms, I don't really recommend you to invest in the first options of the game, because they aren't as efficient or helpful at first. Instead, save those materials, and later when you get access to the Moonbow, Wisp of Mystery and Rebirth, you can start throwing some materials. Our basic goal here is to get a charm with 2 tier 2 slots. That is one way to advance here. The other one is just to change for the Black Belt high rank stuff, but the possible issue is that we are going to start rushing through some important things, missing some basic charms, decorations and also basic skills that the lance benefits much more, like the classic guard skills. At this point we can pretty much run this first build quite far. Just beware that we do not have guard up, and there are some monsters that can break our defense. To fix this, you can change Barroth Coil for Yura Coil, and then change Isuchi Mail for Basarios. That way we can increase a bit our defense, and while it is not the best tactic to shift our offensive skills to just defensive ones, this is a simple path in case you are having trouble reaching higher ranks. At first, here isn't that much we can do until we are able to craft our first guard skills. In the meantime, you can patch your offensive skills with some Moonbow Critical Eye charms. The defense of this build should help you up to high rank Nargacuga. Once there, you can progress a bit further this weapon tree. If you have no issues whatsoever reaching this point, you can get up to Diablos without that much issue. The advantage against it is that it is a straightforward fight, and here we can change the mail once again, with this increasing our attack with offensive guard 3, and up to this point you may have something simple as a charm to work as a filler. There is also another option, which is changing all your armor pieces for Diablos and just add guard up decos. Here we need to farm some Rajans, as it has some decent armor pieces, and also because we need different parts to craft some other useful decos, like the following. If you play in a conservative way, you can pretty much start farming Narwa Ibushi to increase your high rank up to 40, also to craft some materials, and some useful decos. Keep in mind that after defeating Ragnakadaki, here we can start farming Basil, which can be a nice improvement to our build. With this you can pretty much battle anything up until this point, and if you want something much more specific, you can create the best guard build in base Rise. It isn't that hard to get, and you can pretty much fight whatever. It is true that this build is just pure defense, but it can finish every quest in around 10-15 minutes, and it's an excellent first start in Master Rank. Once Master Rank is reached, you can grow through the first monsters without that much issue, and change the high rank borrowed armor pieces for Master Rank. This gives us the chance to add some extra affinity. There isn't that much reason to change armor until we get access to the Night Squire. To unlock them, we'll need to finish some followers quest with Fiorain and audience with the Queen. Keep in mind that we can also start acquiring some materials to upgrade our weapons, in this case for example the Elder Babel for Master Rank, so mine every spot you can to get the required materials. We can get a bit stuck. If you feel like you need extra defense, you can start changing your Basil armor pieces, but the main issue at the beginning of Sunbreak is that there is a lack of better options. If you increase the defense of this build, upgrading the armor set, and with some decos, there is hardly something to improve in terms of defense, and its offensive capability is well rounded. That for Master Rank 2, Master Rank 3. And you can still get away with not upgrading your weapon, but there is no real reason to not do it. So, for example, in this clip I committed a lot of mistakes throughout the whole hunt, but it is to show you that you can still keep up a good time. Once we can fight Ghosts, there are some minor changes that can be done to get a better armor set. Do not worry so much about sharpening and keeping a decent damage. With this we can tackle Master Rank 4 without that many issues. And once there, we can start changing once again some armor pieces to increase damage and defense once again. Depending from your goal, you can farm some more Lunas and get the Lance. It is a solid option, and we also get access to Purple Sharpness. And in Master Rank 5, after fighting against Malzeno, it can be improved once again, so it is a plausible option. The other one is getting up to Malzeno, and if you improve the Nargacuga Lance, then you can also get another good option with better affinity. And in Master Rank 5, once again, we can do some improvements to our armor set and start preparing ourselves for anomaly research. Our next step, preferably, is to increase our Master Rank a bit more and start crafting some other armor pieces to help us with the next crusade, because we won't get anything worth changing up to Master Rank 140. What we can do here is get Violet Misutsune Greaves Coil Embraces. They are going to hold us up to Master Rank 140, so we better get them. To unlock it, we need to get Master Rank 10, which shouldn't take that much from this point onwards, even rushing through everything. Once we beat Gaiasma, we also get access to the new melding methods, so from this point onwards we are going to start farming materials to start our meldings and fully upgrade our weapon. Also from this point, our upgrades are going to take a while because we need to reach the Anomaly Research 81 to unlock level 5s, then 111 to unlock level 6 and 181 for level 7. Once we can start augmenting our gear, it is time to specialize this build even further. Make something quite powerful in terms of defense and offensive. We can also change the lance for the Royal Order, and guessing that in this whole mess you got a nice charm, you might be able to get something close to this. From this point onwards, we can use the same stuff up to Master Rank 140, and also the advantage of this build is that it can be used as a jack of all trades regarding elemental weapons. That way you can start changing weapons and improve your time. I hope this whole mess is useful for all of you. If there is something you will change in this whole thing, feel free to comment it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.